I'm Lee Rennick, Executive Director of the CIO Association of Canada, and we are really excited to be hosting an event in Red Deer on June 10th called Meet Me in the Middle, where we'll see our Calgary and Edmonton chapters come together to have an amazing collaborative day and really learn and work together on solving issues around digital transformation. We're really excited to have Stormboard joining us that day. Stormboard is a shared workspace designed to transform the way organizations work together, from large meetings to multi-department projects to individual tasks and daily work. And we're going to be using the Stormboard platform when we are at the Meet Me in the Middle event. And I'm super excited to introduce Reg Sharami, CEO and founder of Stormboard, to explain a little bit more about the platform and how we'll be utilizing it at Meet Me in the Middle. So over to you, Reg.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the intro. Stormboard is super excited to be attending this event in Red Deer. Stormboard is a digital collaboration platform. Think of us as a digital whiteboard and sticky notes that's accessible anywhere in the world. We've been building Stormboard since 2009, and clearly in the last few years, the world has changed in terms of how they're working together, and Stormboard has really taken advantage of that. We're one of the leading tools in the market, and interestingly, we're based in Edmonton. So this whole event being right in our home backyard is really fantastic. Most of our customers are very global, so it's really nice to be connecting with everyone back in Alberta as well. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you just a quick look at what Stormboard's all about, and really looking forward to meeting you all in Red Deer. So here's Stormboard. Stormboard, as I said, is a digital whiteboard, sticky notes and whiteboards, super easy to use. This is a simple retrospective storm. We have hundreds of templates covering almost any business process you might imagine, from business model canvas through to agile processes, brainstorming, lean canvas, SWOT analysis, 5 whys, all the processes that you might use in your normally day-to-day work, whether they're one-off meetings or bigger workshops. We've got templates for everything. And if we don't have the template, you can easily customize the ones that we have or build your own from scratch. Super easy. This is a retrospective. It's got 3 simple sections: what went well, what could have gone better, and what action should we take. So what went well? Well, to add an idea, you can either click this add button at the bottom or double click the board, and we can place that wherever we wish. Within Stormboard, we have regular sticky notes, but we also have the ability to embed video from YouTube or use a digital whiteboard right inside of Stormboard. And with this, anyone can just jump into this whiteboard. It's fully multi-user, fully real time. So I can start drawing on this. I can say, make this green. I can then use circle, squares, lines, arrows, etc. Draw an arrow to the sticky note that I want to be made green, and really mock up those screenshots. At the same time, we can bring in images from either my local file system or online resources. So I could search, for example, for a phone. And I can simply add that image to this whiteboard. The great thing with our whiteboard is it's persistent, unlike your traditional whiteboard where one person starts working on it at the front of the boardroom and then everyone has to muscle in on it. With Stormboard, you can have multiple people using it in multiple locations. And because it's an infinite whiteboard, you never run out of real estate. You always have more space, and all your ideas are securely held. It's not like the cleaning staff at night are going to be able to see the whiteboard as they walk by cleaning out the boardroom for the next day. With Stormboard, they're all securely saved, and you can easily continue where you left off. One of the greatest things about Stormboard is the ability to do incredible reporting. So at the end of a traditional meeting, you might spend hours or days, in fact, transcribing the notes of what happened on that whiteboard to send off to your colleagues. Stormboard does that for you all automatically. With one click, we can export to Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. I'm going to export to PowerPoint as an example here. And what you're going to see is a PowerPoint. We have Office Online embedded directly inside Stormboard. And also for those Google fans, we have the same actions for the Google suite of products. So here's a title page, followed by all the ideas in that what went well section, including that new idea that I just added live together with you here. What could have gone better has those screenshots, including the image and whiteboard that I had, followed by all the ideas in that section and all the actions. So What we've done is, in the matter of seconds, gone from a visual collaboration with users potentially around the world working together in real time to a real time output that gives you a stakeholder ready document that you can download, even edit right inside Stormboard, and then send off to your colleagues to make sure you're turning all your ideas into action. Next up, I want to show a couple of the use cases of Stormboard. With Stormboard, there's so many types of meetings that you can run, but the first is obviously capturing ideas or brainstorming. With Stormboard, you're going to be able to generate 10 times more ideas in the same amount of time. One of our clients used to do a 2-day workshop, and they had hundreds of people come into the hotel ballroom. Classic scenario. Many companies do this, and over 2 days, they generated a whole bunch of ideas. Then they started using Stormboard, and they did it all remote. And so those hundreds of people could now collaborate remotely. And the best part is that 2-day event now turned into a 4-hour event, saving not only a ton of time, but all the logistics and costs and hotel stays and travel and all the time away from the office. So instead of 2 days, it was 4 hours, and they generated 10 times more ideas. So super powerful. And the reason you can generate more ideas is everyone's got the ability to add ideas without waiting their turn at a microphone. Gives everyone a chance to, compose their thoughts and then just add them to the storm. They don't have to worry about speaking it up in front of their colleagues or coworkers. They can just add their ideas and get feedback instantly. And in terms of feedback, each idea has 3 key components: the ability to comment, the ability to vote on them, and the ability to assign it as a task. So you're not just getting the ideas in here, you're getting the actual ability to create output. So once you've captured a bunch of ideas, the next thing you might want to do is group them. And we've got an incredible grouping functionality that allows you to group ideas very easily. And here we're grouping using our native grouping technology, but you can see we're also grouping them by the shape of the sticky notes and the color. So there's lots of ways to group it and visually, bring ideas together and match them in a way that you can never do in a physical collaboration. Next up, you can prioritize ideas. With Stormboard, we have smart sections. This is an impact versus effort matrix where we're plotting the ideas on high impact and low and effort. This is a 2x2 matrix where we're prioritizing ideas on impact and effort. And so this idea here happens to be a high impact, low effort idea. But if you thought it was more work, you might drag it over here. And in real time, I might drag it back. That's going to create a conversation all of a sudden. Why is that idea moving so much? Why do you think that's so much more work? And then that conversation can really settle and say, okay, you know what? That really belongs here. We came to some consensus on the impact and effort. And one of the amazing parts about Stormboard is oftentimes when you might do an exercise like this, you're going to run out of space. There's going to be too many ideas and not enough space. So with Stormboard, we can resize this section. And what you're going to see, we're going to give some more space to this section, but what it did is it kept all these ideas proportionately in that section while keeping all the other ideas logically where they belong. So we were able to expand this space instantly. Whereas in a traditional meeting, you'd have to pause that meeting, send everyone for a coffee break, and when you come back, hopefully you got the ideas in the right spot or close. With Stormboard, it's all instant and automatic. Next up, you might use Stormboard for doing some design thinking or some visual thinking. So that you can use our whiteboards for. Here, you can map a process. So we've got line connectors between all the ideas, and we can easily connect ideas and label those lines and really map out a process in a really dynamic and real-time way. And finally, you might use Stormboard to manage a project. So here's a simple Kanban board of articles in our backlog, articles we're currently writing, articles we're currently editing, and we're ready to publish. This allows you to save on meetings because instantly I can just drag this idea to this next phase. Once I'm done writing it, now the editor could pick that up, start working on it, and when they're done, they can move it to ready to publish. This allows for a really streamlined workflow, very simple way for teams to connect and really manage a project dynamically using Stormboard. The next part I'm going to show you is obviously the other part of exporting. So I've already showed you in PowerPoint export. We can now export to Microsoft Word. Again, this works in both the Office and Google Suite, but here we get a beautiful title page, including all of the, including the title of the storm. You get all the ideas sorted by section. You get all the data in that prioritized matrix, so you can see all the ideas that were in that high impact, low effort quadrant. It actually understood that and is able to export that. Next, you can see all the other ideas in the various sections. You can see all the ideas sorted by creation date, all the ideas sorted by who created them, all the ideas by their legend color, all the tasks that have been assigned, and everything you could ever want. So this is a beautiful 15-page export of the storm, and you get that instantly. This is a beautiful 15-page export of the storm, and you can get that instantly. And because it's Microsoft Word, you can edit it and curate it before you send it off to your colleagues and coworkers. And for completeness sake, I'm going to show you the Excel report. One of our clients uses this Excel report actually to import into other tools. So they import it into Microsoft Project. They've got an incredible Microsoft Project tool. They use all the data in here to drive an incredible integration with Microsoft Project that they custom integrated with us. So here, for example, are all the ideas. You can see if they had a thumbnail, the type, the number of votes and comments, their legend color, their shape, their XY position on the storm. So you know exactly where they were in that storm. You know which section they're in. And here you can see all those ideas that were in that impact effort matrix. It knows that they were, which quadrant they were in of that impact effort. And it actually ranks them from 0 to 10 on each axis and gives you the numerical ranking of where they're sitting in that 2x2 matrix. So you can now turn that visual collaborative data into quantifiable data instantly. And you get all the comments, you get all the chat that happens in the storm, you get all the line connectors, including the to and from, and all of that beautiful data and unique identifiers so you can programmatically do stuff with that data, all the tasks, all the votes. Literally everything that we do in the storm is accessible in that Excel document so that you can extract that and integrate it with your other business tools. Finally, what I'm going to show you is one of our most amazing integrations, and we've got an integration with Jira, Azure DevOps, and Rally, and they all work in a very similar fashion. And this is an agile integration into Jira as this example. And what we can do is we can query Jira directly inside Stormboard. This is another one of our smart sections. This is a backlog section that integrates with Jira. We can just drag and drop those ideas from Jira directly into Stormboard. And the cool thing here is it recognized that these already have dependencies inside Jira and automatically made those line connectors for you because it's smart and understands that. And then you're going to see this section all of a sudden turned red. That's because we dragged 15 story points worth of work into a section that has a capacity of 10. Story points are a unit of effort that describes how much work something is. This is more work than we can get done in that period, so it turned that section red. This one here, as you can see, has 5 story points on it. So when I drag that out, we're now beautifully, once again, at 10 out of 10. And this section is now at 5 on 12. So this is a great integration with Jira that allows you to do your planning in a very visual way. And many companies use this style of interaction with physical sticky notes. But the problem is at the end of that meeting, your Jira is totally out of sync with what happened in the meeting. And then you spend days actually trying to manage that and get that back together and transcribe that back into Jira. With Stormboard, it's absolutely instant in real time and absolutely magical. Love to give you guys all a deeper demo of this, but this is transformational to how you do your agile planning if you are an agile company. So that's just a little taste of Stormboard. There's much more to see. We're going to be there live in Red Deer. You can use Stormboard on any device, and we're actually bringing a Microsoft Surface Hub to the meeting. So you'll be able to see Stormboard on a beautiful 55-inch touchscreen and interact with it directly there, or on your laptops, phones, tablets, doesn't matter. Whatever device you have, you're going to be able to interact with it. We're really looking forward. We're going to have an interactive session. So we're going to talk a little bit about how the world has changed in a hybrid world, and really understand from you guys, how that's impacting your businesses, and really have a great conversation. And all of that we're going to do together on our Microsoft Surface Hub and some local devices there. So it's going to be a super fun, interactive event. We're really looking forward to it. Can't wait to see you in Red Deer.